guest guest host today,
Gunner.
and Gunner, and we're in a
Yeah.
new setting.
We're in
So
my
that's kind of nice.
office.
Yep, in Natalie's
Yeah.
office.
Some changes for Mindy.
Yep.
So we are meeting here. So yes. Oh, you want to kiss
So
Mindy, don't
yeah,
you?
we're
So
gonna be digging into the Enneagram today, which I'm super excited about. One of the
yeah.
many personality assessments that you can take to do kind of a deep dive on what motivates you and what drives you, your passions, your probably leading into your derailers, what gets you in
Well,
trouble
yeah,
sometimes when you
because
overuse or underuse some of the
yes,
stuff.
because like other personality assessments, this one would definitely tells you like when you're this at your best,
Yeah.
but as this number at your worst, this is what comes out. And you're like, oh,
Yeah, that
yeah,
makes
that makes
sense.
sense.
Yeah, and so we've
So,
got
yeah,
a great guest on our show
Tammy
today.
Holiday.
Not holiday, like yeah, not like
Holiday.
that.
Okay, not like that. Okay.
Holla,
Day.
holla
Holla.
day.
Holla. Make you holla.
That's how we're starting this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
And I think we should just bring her in because we have a
bring her
lot to
in.
cover.
We do.
Okay,
We do.
let's
I'm
bring her
excited.
in.
Okay.
All right.
Tammy, welcome to the platform.
Yes.
How
Hi,
are you?
Tammy.
Hello, hello. Hi.
Great to
Hi.
have you. Thanks for joining us.
So Tammy
Thank
is
you.
sitting at her home office in Denver, Colorado.
Yes.
Yes, so that's kind
where
of
we
cool.
have both lived.
Where we have both
So
lived.
we have a Denver panel here.
At the same time we lived there, but I never knew her
Nope.
then. No. And Gunny's just looking soulfully into your eyes.
Gunny
having a
is
hard-
in love today.
I'm really having a hard time focusing because
Everybody thinks Mindy's so pretty.
oh, hello. Yes.
It must be part of your Enneagram.
or it's my breath.
It could smell like dead fish, maybe.
Oh, why did you have to do
You
that?
know, dogs like stinky things.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so Tammy, so the Enneagram, so let's go over what the Enneagram, did I say it right?
You said it right the second time. Yep.
See, she's already like,
Yep.
the Enneagram, give us like a definition of what the Enneagram is, and then we'll go through 1 through 9. So some of our listeners have probably taken it. But like me, I'm like, okay, I'm an 8, but like what did that mean? Because it's been a while for me. So we're gonna get a little reiteration.
Yeah, we're going to get educated today.
on remembering our number, our Enneagram, and what it means. All right.
Yeah. So okay. So Ennea. So Ennea. It means the number 9. Okay, in Greek.
That's right.
And then
Okay.
gram is like the diagram. So that kind of helps sometimes because people, yeah, to say it proper, then that helps you.
So we can just call it the 9 gram.
There you go, the 9 gram.
I might
The
get
9 chart.
That works because there is 9 types, right?
Right.
So yeah, we can call it
Perfect.
the 9 gram.
Okay.
So the Enneagram is different than other personality systems because it looks at like helps you understand what's driving you on the inside. What is that internal driver, the internal motivation? Whereas a lot of our other personality systems look at behavior. And that's one of the things I find that's a little tricky on discovering your type because we tend to look at our lives or other people look at us like, what are we doing externally? And so then if we take a quiz or something, then we maybe sometimes answer it that way versus what internally is the reason why you do the things you do. So
Yeah, and you told us
Love
when
that.
we were taking it, like, focus on what internally drives you, not the outward.
yeah, and like not on a specific work situation or this time in your life, like it's look at your whole life and like overall what has mostly driven you. And I
Okay.
think a lot of times I've learned this from other people, and I think it's probably pretty true when I have people that I work with look at it. If you think about like your teenage years or your college years, like you probably didn't have much of a filter. At least I didn't.
Wait,
Still don't.
did that change?
Still don't.
What?
What number is that? Because that has not changed. TMI, right here. You're looking at it. Double shot at
Well,
TMI.
then we should be able to discover your type pretty easy.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Natalie's on one
I'm-
today.
I'm getting scolded. Okay, go ahead.
So yeah, so look at it that way, right? Look at
Okay.
think about those times when you weren't listening to all the messages that
Yeah.
all the world wants to tell
Well,
us.
and I'll bring up that, we've talked before this, and I'm going through a really different phase in my life right now.
Right.
And so when I took it, I think I kind of forgot of like, look at your whole life. I was really like, I was taking it kind of focused on like where I'm at right now. And so there is a difference. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
So we're gonna illuminate some of those things as we talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as we looked at we'll get into that. So let me go over the 9 types. So
Okay.
when we look at this, so the core motivations in the Enneagram is your core desires and your core fears. When we talk about the 9 types, that's your dominant type. That dominant type does not change. That is your type for life. Okay.
That's
And
what
there-
you manage the whole life.
Yes. But we put protective layers around it and we grab parts, like you said, of different types to kind of help us navigate. And when we get in stress, then we go to another type or we pull pieces of that other type. But the dominant type, that's what we're going to go through on these 9 types. So we're looking at the core desire, and that is what you want to protect yourself or what you want to get, what you're running towards. I like to think that. What you
Okay.
desire. And then your core fear is what you're trying to avoid, what you're running away from, what you don't want happening in your life. And
I like that.
those, if you start to pay attention to your life and the decisions you make,
Yep.
you'll start to see the desire and the fear coming up. And that can help you hone in on this.
I love that running to and running away.
I liked her
from.
little physical analogy.
I did
She's
too.
like running.
Like I get that, right?
She's so adorable.
Yeah. You talk about her like she's not here.
No, she is.
You remember
She's so
that guest
cute.
we had on that time, Tammy Holiday? She
The
was
one
so
that's still
cute.
on.
She's still on my mind. Okay.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so let's go through the 9 types. I'm going to kind of try to I'll read them slowly because I want you to try and take it in. But if you have questions about them, then definitely interject, okay?
And
Okay.
again, I think to anybody listening, you're going to see yourself in any of these a little bit here and there.
Yes.
There is a
because
dominant
yes.
one. So just keep that in mind. We're not a number. We're more than a number.
Yes. Oh,
Much
Cindy,
more.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, because it is, don't box yourself. You don't have to
Right.
feel boxed in that this is all you are. That's something about the Enneagram we do not have the time to get into, but there are so many parts of understanding ourselves and creating awareness of who we are with the Enneagram. So this is just the start. This is the tip of
Okay.
learning about yourself. Okay.
The tip.
Let's run. Just the tip.
All right. So type 1s, they hold themselves to really high standards because they really want to live with integrity. That is essential to them. Being right and having integrity is really important. They don't want to be seen as wrong or flawed or that's very unsettling. Okay. So that's kind of their drivers.
That
And then
sounds horrible.
what did you say?
I said that sounds horrible. Are they perfectionists?
Yes, they tend to be a perfectionist.
Yes.
And see, I'm glad you brought that up. So a lot of times you'll hear people put a word to describe their type. And I'm not doing that per se today because sometimes when we hear a word, then we're like, oh yeah, I'm a perfectionist, so therefore I'm a type 1. And really we can all put different meaning to a word, right?
Right.
That dog is so funny.
Oh my God. For people who are listening, Gunner's
Oh,
on my lap and now he's up and so he's on camera.
He
and
really
he's-
wants to take part in this.
And he just wants to look into Mindy's eyes and give her baby kisses.
He might be a 1. We don't know this.
No. He could give
I don't
a
think
shit.
so. Not the way he's
he
looking
could
at
give a
you. He
shit.
wants
Okay,
the
so-
next one.
I love that. We're more than a number and we're more than just a word. So
Yes.
Okay.
all right.
All
So
right.
then the type 2, so they move toward helping and connecting with others. They want to feel loved and needed. That matters so deeply. We all have a need to be loved, but for a type 2, it is like so much of who they are and what drives everything they do. They don't want to, being unwanted is super painful to them.
Okay.
And so they serve people so that they can experience in return that wanting and that being needed.
Is there a
That sounds horrible.
downfall of that when it is overused
Of course.
to expectations not being met, reciprocal?
Yeah. They have to be really careful that they don't serve or do things for other people and manipulate them to get
Oh,
back what they
yes.
want.
Even
So-
unconsciously.
Yes.
Right?
And it is unconscious. Like
It is unconscious.
I
Yeah.
know type 2s and they're like, that's not why I do it. And it truly doesn't always have to be. Like I don't want people
Yeah.
going out and going, oh, they're doing that because they want something bad.
Yeah.
But there can be an underlying
It's
driver.
ingrained.
Sure.
It's ingrained.
Okay, that's
yeah.
subconscious.
yeah,
Yep.
I think we're both seeing faces of people we know
Yeah.
where that would absolutely
Yeah.
fit. Okay.
Now, why do they seem negative? Like, am I just seeing them like that? Like 1 and 2 seems like, oh,
Yeah, I don't see them as negative
okay,
at all.
okay, because maybe it's just the number I am, and I'm like, oh God,
yeah, it could
I'm
be.
feeling bad that these people are
Probably.
like
That's
going through life. Well, that's my number. Like, that just says everything I probably am. I don't know, but
that's
yeah,
interesting.
okay,
Yeah. And I think that is interesting that you're seeing it as negative.
well, it
Because
just seems
sometimes when people are listening to these descriptors, if they cringe, it's because it might be their type.
yeah, I'm
So-
cringing a little bit.
That is interesting
Yeah.
because if you're
Yeah.
type 8, like that, these
Yeah.
two numbers shouldn't make you cringe. But
I think
Yeah.
I want the best for people. So I think for me personally, when I hear that they're a perfectionist and if they're not doing it right, I'm just like, oh my God, that sounds like so much pressure. And like I'm taking it on. Like I don't want that for them.
But you also, the 2, she described a lot of your need to
Yes.
help others and please
Yes.
others and do for others. But then when you don't get that in return, it's just like this heartbreaking experience.
Yeah.
of-
You know me like way too well.
I know.
Yeah, it can be. I
so-
can have those
Yeah.
high expectations or being like, what? Like I feel like I'm doing for everyone. And
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But I'm not a 2, but we'll dive into this and see how
you
it
might be
relates.
connected to a 2.
I might be
Oh, gosh,
connected.
Well, you are. If you're an 8,
You
you're
do
connected
that.
to a 2. But we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so type 3. So they pursue success, productivity, because they want to be seen as valuable. That creates a safety for them. They're the achievers. You'll hear people say they're very goal oriented, but their fear is that of being seen as a failure. That is like so threatening to be seen as a failure, and so, yeah, type 3 very
Definitely have
success
a lot of that.
goals.
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't want to throw you under the bus.
Oh, go
but,
right
you know,
ahead. I mean,
I feel like that
it's reciprocal.
was like ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, and see, and so here's the thing. Like I see myself in a lot of these types, behavior wise, right?
Yes.
Behavior wise.
But why? Underneath, keep asking why why is success important? What does that say about me? If I don't have success, if I'm failing, how is that impacting my value as a person? That's a type 3.
Okay.
Okay.
I love this reminder. You
I
may
think
have to
you-
throw that out again.
Every
Yeah, you may have to
everyone.
do that.
you might have to say it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So a type 4, they lean into being authentic. They really want to be unique. Okay. Unique. That's the key part of a type 4. So being understood, they feel like no one understands them. What are you two laughing at?
Oh.
Yep. Okay.
You two are over there laughing. I'm like, I'm not sure what you guys are.
Yep. No.
Sorry, she's
Like
she's
the
like,
minute-
that's not me.
Yeah, you don't care about being.
No, I mean, like,
She
I
says she
get it.
follows. She doesn't follow.
Well,
She freaking leads the pack.
I definitely like I'm picturing people who are so unique in their journey, and they are such innovative thinkers, and like that is like their drive in everything they do is to stand out
Yeah.
Yes,
from the
that
norm,
is
the
a
crowd.
part of it. Yeah, they want to be understood as like ordinary. Like they don't want to be ordinary. They want
Yes,
to be
that's
unique
their
and
fear.
seen
Right.
as like having real conversation and just being different than
Yeah.
society, if that makes sense. They
Yeah,
don't want to be
totally.
seen as flawed, and they
Mm.
really don't want to be ordinary.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
right.
Perfect.
Type fives, they gather knowledge and protect their energy. So they really assess, like, if they're invited somewhere, they're like, do I have the energy to go and do this? They love to have the knowledge but in specific subjects, they'll get really tied into a specific subject, and that can change, but they really want to know. The competence, the feeling of being competent is stabilizing to them. And so if they're overwhelmed and they don't feel like they are managing their energy, then it's unsafe to them.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have somebody in mind for that, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
Okay.
And then type 6 is their biggest thing is security and support. They want guidance from others. Safety matters to them.
Mhm.
If they don't have that guidance, then they feel like it's just really risky. They're your people who are worst case scenarios. They know, like, if you're in an emergency situation, they know all the ways to be safe within that situation.
Okay.
They're that
Okay.
think ahead, worst case scenario, just because that security and safety is so important to them.
So 6, security, safety. That's easy to remember.
Oh yeah.
I don't know that shows up on mine anywhere. I think when we look at the wheel, mine's like a sliver.
No, I'm like, are these Volvo drivers or police officers? Maybe, I know police officers that sit in a restaurant at a certain seat at a
Same
table
thing every day.
So they can see the entrance
yes.
and what's going on.
And so when you
No.
live your life like that,
But that's
Yeah, I wonder if
behavior. But that's
that is,
behavior.
yeah. Because I wonder, I mean, I'm
Go
sure
ahead.
there's a type 6 police officer, but I don't know. There's part of me that thinks they would have a different type because
Yeah. It's behavior. I'm talking behavior
they're being that protector, whereas the
Yes.
6 really likes they like a crowd, like to be led. They like to be led.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
okay.
picturing
that leading.
I'm picturing people I've worked with in the past who they are most happy in the same job, in the same role for an indefinite amount of time. They
Yeah.
don't need that career advancement. They are perfectly happy where they are
Yep.
because they know exactly what their paycheck's going to be.
Yep.
They know exactly what they're walking into every day.
Yep.
Like that safety
Yeah.
is so critical for them.
Yeah. And you want those people on your team.
Yeah, you do.
You need a mix of that because it's really nice to
Yep.
have the people that are just like, just give me this, tell me what to do, check, check, check. And
Are we talking the right number
Yeah,
here?
I think you're accurate in that. And again, there's different ways people look, but yeah, there is they want that stability for sure.
Yeah.
yeah, they don't want the change.
Yeah.
And then I know a 6 that because there's instincts and that changes how we look as well. It goes real much deeper in the Enneagram, but they're not necessarily risk takers, but she's moved into places to be able to, like, she loves to travel and go and do that and be in different countries and live there for a few months and go live in another country. And so it's not that they're not huge risk takers because they do like that comfortableness, but they can move into that space of, like, as long as she knows where she is
Right.
and that she's safe,
Right.
she can go and enjoy those things
Yeah.
too.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great way to describe it. That totally makes sense to
And
me.
I don't have a mouth anymore.
Nope.
Just a puppy.
Just a okay. Now we're on to the fun one, 7.
Ooh.
Not that I'm
Okay,
biased.
so why don't you tell your chat or your Zeus story?
Oh yeah. So ChatGPT, I just put in to get a clever title for this podcast episode, and it said, "Well, if you're a number 7, like I think you are, Mindy, do you want me to create a title for you with that in mind?" And I was like, "What the heck, man? You're gonna call me out?
We
I'm
didn't
just
even-
asking for a title."
We didn't even need to take the
No,
test. I
no.
can't wait to try that.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that is so interesting, but it knows all it. I mean, because do you have the paid version where it kind of
Yeah, it knows me pretty darn well.
about you? Yeah.
yeah, and I've taken Enneagram multiple times before over the past, I don't know, I'd say 15 years, and 7 consistently up until recently, when again, I was really thinking more of where I'm at right now.
Yep.
But the
Yep.
7 still is resoundingly true.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
Let's get into 7.
Let's talk
So
about
a
Mindy.
7, they chase possibility and new experiences because freedom feels life-giving. So they do not like to feel trapped in their feelings. Like they do not want to experience pain or any of those unbearable feelings. And so often a
You really get
7
that.
will
Yeah.
move to lots of different they'll kind of get into something and then they'll move to something else and move to something else, you know.
Yep. Yep.
For those of you that are on audio only, Natalie is pointing at Mindy like, yes, that's her.
Look, I like to call it the hummingbird theory of like, right? We go and pollinate different flowers, but we're able to go back to the same ones when we find a sense of joy or happiness from that. We don't just buzz and keep buzzing around. We find our happy place.
I love that.
That's a really good analogy.
Right? Thank you.
Yeah, I really do like that because it is like, and so remember on the motivations, the desire is to kind of have that fun in life and not be burdened and locked into things and feel trapped. And when I want to know, because you kind of made a face when I said about, or one of you guys looked at each other, but like, you don't want to experience the feelings and you don't want to experience that pain. What was that?
I definitely have taught myself too over the years in therapy and whatnot to actually deal with stuff, but I'm super good at compartmentalizing things and putting them in a locked safe where I don't go and retrieve those things. And so a lot of things are in my archive that I just never call on, and I'm really good at it. And that's a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah.
Right? I can move on from pain like way faster than the normal person. For me, that works. For other people, they can see it as, wow, she doesn't care at all. Like, is she not mourning this? Is she not grieving this? Does she not feel the hurt that I'm feeling? I'm like, no, I just move on. Like forward momentum. Let's go.
Yeah.
And what would be
Buttercup.
what would be interesting in that is to slow yourself down and kind of challenge yourself to experience that pain a little longer.
The past 2 years have been that.
Okay.
3 years really have been that of, okay, let's really feel what's happening and what's happened. And it's been a lot.
It's not easy. And that's for type 7. It's that you want to just move on. You don't want to have to deal with it. But that's part of the self-growth piece, that when you're looking at the Enneagram and you're identifying your dominant type, like in many ways, if all you do is say, I'm a type 7, and that's all you do with it, you're missing out on so much awareness and growth in your life. Because if you can dig deeper into the tool of this, it really is going to help you just grow and be more in touch with really who you are, not those protective layers that you have adapted and created in life. Absolutely. Because that, like I hear that in you, like in the last 2 years, I've kind of made myself pause and feel a little bit more. And it's not easy, but I'm assuming you've probably had some growth in that.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
And different doors open.
Yeah.
Interesting. I love that.
Completely different doors.
Yeah, completely. Yeah. So I do love that as a foundation of like 7 can be my foundation of everything that I'm driving towards, but to understand all of the different pieces that I'm now building on that, it's gonna look differently for me.
Yeah.
As I enter this kind of second chapter, 15th chapter of my life, but like the second half of my life, I kind of say.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get into like how you connect to other spots here in a little bit. But let me finish going through.
So 8.
So 8, which Natalie, you're thinking is, as you've learned over the years, this is probably you.
Yeah.
And so an 8 steps into strength and takes charge. A lot of people misidentify why they want to take charge and control, but it's so that they can protect themselves and the people
Right.
around them. Like
Moms like
that
that.
is the drive behind taking charge and being assertive and controlling, is to protect.
Gunny,
And
would you
so
agree that your mother is primarily an 8? Yes. He says yes.
Yeah, that
the fear
Yeah.
is being controlled or being vulnerable, and feel like betrayal is, man, like just the idea of being betrayed is everything that an 8 would
Yeah.
run from.
you can hit me
So
up here. You don't have to do it behind
I'm
under
hitting
the
I'm
tail.
hitting her under the table like
table.
that's you. That's
Yeah,
you.
and I think we talked about this one time, Tammy, that if you look at my childhood, you're looking at your whole life. That was my role growing up, unconsciously doing it at a very young age, way too much power of protecting my siblings from, my dad's anger and impatience, and didn't notice that my mom wasn't standing up. I didn't even care whether she was standing up or not, where my other sibling was like, "Where the frick are you, mom?" Mom didn't want to put oil on the fire
yeah.
or gas on the fire. But I didn't even see that happening. I was just so focused on protecting everyone.
And so you just took
And,
charge.
and yeah, I had a way of calming my dad down without consequences. And I don't know how I did that. I don't know if we're connected somehow.
That was reinforced and then probably spread out into other areas of your life because it worked.
Oh,
worked for you.
100%. But it was a totally different relationship for my older brother and my younger sister. But I acted like a firstborn to protect what they were going through.
Do you see, can you then identify other times in life too, where you're
yeah.
like that when you take charge, like, so I'm a type 8 as well. And so often I'll sit back and wait for other people to lead. And then I'm just like, all right, no one's stepping up. So then I just lead,
Yeah.
right? Like I just
Yeah.
get in there and I lead and
Yeah.
so it's not always around that protection and control piece, but it is
No.
that knowing that we can step into that and having that confidence to be able to know that we can be decisive and we can
Exactly.
be courageous to step in
Yes.
when we need to.
So many examples. I remember we were at this MS bike ride and we were volunteers, and they took us to one of the pit stops, and they opened a truck and they had tables there and everyone was standing around. So I just started, and the guy goes, "Follow her. She looks like she's taking charge." Just like no words were spoken.
Right.
Right. Or I remember being in a networking group and I'd been in there for a long time. And I was like, I either need to run this show or I need to get the frick out.
Can I ask, do you remember why you felt like you needed to run it? Because this is where people will, like, people will hopefully see that driver underneath.
Because it wasn't being done to a good standard. No, it was falling apart in my eyes, in my perception. It was falling apart.
Yeah.
And we could do better, and the experience for everyone there in the group, that type of thing. And it's kind of that, well, if no one's going to do it, I'm going to do it and step up. And that's been my whole life, where I just
It's
and
interesting
then
because you said there was a little bit of the driver under there. You wanted everybody there to have the experience that they should have, right? Like, you're in this networking environment and there's reasons why we go to those. And you
Yes.
want
Are you
just hitting you?
I think we're thinking the same thing.
Go ahead.
Okay, let's see if we're thinking the same thing. So last week I said, okay, let's go through the Southwest SHRM luncheon. And I said, okay, what's the itinerary? And then I said, okay, I've created this for HR Coffee Talk. Can we create this for the luncheon, where we have a sheet that we're sending to the speaker so they know everything? They know what time to arrive. They know about tech. They know the location. They know who's going to be meeting them there. Again, experience.
Yep.
And then we have one for the sponsor. You're going to have a table. You need a raffle, bring swag, stuff for, come at this time. Is that what you were thinking?
No.
Oh, you weren't. Okay, what were you thinking?
But you're absolutely right. I just think of how you network and
Oh,
how
okay.
you connect with people, that it's not really, it is about you and building your brand, but it is so much about, is everyone else having fun?
Mm.
Is everyone here having a good time? And if I find somebody who I think isn't, I'm going to approach them and get them to smile and laugh and engage in some meaningful conversation with me. And you do that.
I want the best for
Always.
everyone in whatever situation.
Always.
Like I was texting an employee that works for me temporarily and she's thinking about another job. And I was like, did you see the job I tagged you on? She's like, yeah, but I hate my management now, but I love my donors and da 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 da. And I was like, well, knowledge is power. It doesn't hurt to go find out some information. You don't know, if you're even going to get it. And I support you either way. But that's another example.
Well, and I go back to what Tammy said earlier. There's a driving force behind all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is my,
So being
I
that
just
you
think
guys are
it's
both
interesting.
eights,
Yeah, you just said, Mindy, you want, when in a networking environment, you want to, if you see people there, you're like, I want them to have fun. Okay. That is so 7.
oh, that's
That is
7.
like,
Oh, I
let's
don't do
create,
that.
let's have fun. Let's
Oh,
learn this. Let's have
interesting.
fun with it.
I am
Interesting.
very much like that though. I am like that 7 where I'm like, I don't like routine. I like flexibility. I don't like to feel trapped. Like redoing some things in my house that I did this last couple days just renews me. Like I love change. I thrive on change. Now Gunny's
So it would be, so 7 and 8. Okay, we haven't finished 9. Everybody listening,
Okay.
we're coming back to 9, I promise.
I swear
But
we're coming back.
7 and 8 are next to each other. So if you're a dominant 7 and
Literally.
you're a dominant 8, you have wings, and your wings are always what's on each side. So a 7 has a wings of a 6 or an 8,
Okay.
or both, or one or the other. Okay, you can tap into one or both, basically. Or sometimes people don't have any parts of those wing numbers. And then the same thing on an 8. They tap into a 7 or a 9. Those are
Okay,
the
well,
wings. So whatever's on the wings, like you're just think they have to be next to the number. Okay.
So what do you think my desire is?
Well, I mean, I can't tell you what your desire is.
I know.
Only you know that. Like,
Thank you,
also,
Amy.
we're going to pipe this in.
Thank
No
you.
one can type anybody else. Like,
Well, we
you
think.
are the only one that can identify your type. You
Okay.
are.
Okay.
And so
Fair.
if you're questioning, Natalie, if you're an 8 or a 7, then what I would say is you just need to start paying attention in daily life and be like, why did I choose that? And start listening for those motivators. Like if they're, you talked about not wanting to feel trapped. Is it not wanting to feel trapped, or is it not wanting to feel weak? Like there's just certain parts that are really going to help you understand that dominant type. But know that if you have a strong wing, you're going to feel those things too.
Yeah.
You're gonna experience
I
that.
definitely think I'm an 8. Like that is just historically where I've been. Just I can see it in my life. I'm more self-aware of that and the reason I'm doing it. But I mean, yeah. I don't want people to hurt. I want them to be their best self. I even changed my titles, Chief Inspirational Officer. Like that's something I can get behind.
And I think, and this is where we haven't started talking about arrows yet, or your paths. There's paths to stress and growth. We'll get there. But like, I hear, and I can't do this for you, but like you have to identify it. But I hear that 8 going to the 2. And that's where an 8 goes to a 2 in their strength. Like when they're really in a healthy place, they can tap into those beautiful parts of a type 2 that really wants to care for people and encourage them and build them up and have those close relationships. So
Okay.
that could be kind of what you're experiencing when you, as you talk,
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing, I guess I should say.
Okay, perfect. Well,
like
let's
that.
go to a 9.
Yeah.
Okay, type 9. So they like to keep peace, maintain harmony. That inner stability is critical to them. So like my husband, he just has to have that inner, he's a type 9, he has to have that inner stability and doesn't want conflict or disconnectedness from, you know, anything in life. That just is really unsettling to him. So they go with the flow, they see both sides of things. They really don't want to rock the boat. And like, it's really interesting on a type 9, you could be talking to one and they'll just be shaking their head and you think they're agreeing. I literally had this happen recently. I was like, yeah. And then so I was like, and we'll do the, this type 9 hates playing games. And I'm like, you can come over and we can play games. And they were shaking their head. And then they go, I wasn't agreeing with you. I don't want to play games. Like,
Oh my God.
I'm like, but you were shaking your head. They're like, well, I was just hearing you. They're just not.
Okay, note to self, that's really good. That's
Yeah.
good to know. 'Cause,
Yeah, totally.
They feel unheard a lot. So
Oh, really?
I have a
because
9 in
people
my
will
life.
talk over them, or because they want to keep that inner
Mhm.
stability, so they're not going to rock the boat, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, I think
Yes.
that's a Doug.
You don't have to call him out on our
Oh,
podcast.
sorry. I mean, it's not a bad thing. He's
It's not
steady
bad.
Eddie. I love
But
it.
they are, and it's
And he
important
hates
for them
games.
to learn to speak up.
Yeah, yeah. And I can see where that has gotten the best of some people I know in my career and personally of they don't speak up when maybe they should
Yeah.
because they don't want to rock the boat. And then that ends up hurting
Exactly.
or they end up sacrificing their own inner balance
Yeah.
as a result of trying to keep the peace, right?
Mhm.
But their voice is needed. They feel like their voice
Yeah.
doesn't matter, but their voice is so needed. And type 9s really are amazing at helping. I mean, for me as a type 8, like he helps stabilize me, honestly, because I can be like,
Exactly.
"Woo," like, you know, so.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think, yeah, that's right on.
So I was going to give you just 2 different examples of trying to help continue to hone in for everybody listening. It's not our behaviors. This is our motivations. So I wanted to give a couple of examples. Like, let's say there's 2 people and
Okay.
they are staying late at work. Okay. Their
Okay.
behavior's the same. They're staying late at work.
Okay.
Let's make one of them a type 3.
Okay.
And the 3 is staying late. They're thinking, if I do well at this, then people will see I'm capable and successful. Okay.
Okay.
And then if we take a type 6, they might be staying late at work because they want to double check everything and make sure that nothing blows up later, right? That worst case scenario, they're going to make sure no problems can happen later.
Mm.
So same behavior, totally different motivations.
Whereas
Okay,
the
that makes sense.
7 stays because they think happy hour is following.
That's awesome.
I'm just
Right?
speaking
There's
from
a
personal
drink.
experience.
There's a drink at the end.
Oh, that is awesome. I'll just stay late and then hop over here. Yeah. So
And then
mean,
an 8 stays late just to make sure everyone's having fun and everything's getting done. And yeah,
To make
no,
sure,
not
like,
fun,
I think-
not
I
fun.
think- yeah, I think for me
I'm
as an 8,
controlling
I
it.
would stay late because I want to make sure that everything is functioning well. Like there's a control piece, like of not in a negative way, but like to make sure everything is going to play out right. You
Right.
know, that everybody, like when you were talking, Natalie, you said you were passing out, you wanted everybody to have all the details. That's not, that could look like a type 1, but I am similar as a type 8. Like I want everybody to know what they're doing in these events so that it goes well, so everybody has this experience and gets what they are meant to get out of it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Because I'm not detail oriented. I
Okay.
am the last person of detail orientedness, but I'm all about the experience and how to make the experience for the other person.
You just made my experience better.
That's
You know what I've noticed?
Detail oriented.
Your legs are longer than mine, but my
Uh-huh.
torso's longer than yours. Look at this.
Look
at this.
It's a 7/8 thing.
It's the same chair.
maybe
oh,
because I'm
shit.
slouching.
Look, I'm still taller. Anyway,
We digress.
side note, that's ADHD, I think, but squirrel. But
Okay.
yeah, no, it's I'm if you ask anyone on my team, they'd be like, "Oh God, Just slow down so you can go faster. Like my details are screwed up constantly.
Mm.
It's all about the experience.
That's interesting. Yeah, I am detail oriented, but that doesn't mean that we can't be the same type, right? Like
Yeah.
everybody is different.
Yeah.
Tell me if you guys relate to this example. So let's say you're stepping into a leadership role, and as a 7, they may be thinking this can be exciting. I don't want to get bored or stuck, so they step into that role maybe for that. I don't know. Mindy, do you feel like let me hear from you. Why would you
Yeah,
step
it's a
into
great question. It is something
Mm-hmm.
that I've actually gone through in my career. So much of me is about proving my own worth and not having that fear of failure.
So is that a
Proving,
7?
no, it's
No.
not. It's proving my competence and showing the world around me that I can do it. I am capable of whatever. I will prove that I can do it. And so I need that constant challenge. So that's what got me moving up in my career ladder pretty much as quickly as I did, because I just saw it as a challenge each time. I can get there, now I can get there, now I can get there, now I can get there. But part of it was I want other people to see that too, because then that places worth on me.
Okay.
Meanwhile, it's a part like the 7, it's like I put it out there. Like I'm not shy to speak in front of people. I don't hold back. I don't know. Like I like that excitement.
Yeah. Yeah. Which
Yeah.
is a 7.
Knowing
for
that
sure.
I could fail, but like it's everything. It
So when you
drives
step
me.
into those leadership roles,
Yeah.
is it because it does give that bit of like change and something new and the excitement that comes from it? Is that,
For
or
sure.
do you feel like it's driven from that?
It's both.
So
It's
that
both.
it's
100%.
like it's
It's
not
like-
about being trapped. It's not like
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't really feel that at all. I did in my marriages, not at work. Well, actually, I can't say that. I feel like I'm in therapy now. The more I talk, the more I open things up. I don't want to be trapped in a position at work. I want to know that I have options
yeah.
if I get bored or I want to move beyond that.
Yeah.
I need to know that there's always something more that will challenge me.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is part of that driver of a 7. And this is the thing, like, I don't want to box anyone in. And that you saying, like, the way you describe stepping into leadership sounds a little bit more like a type 3. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing. Like that's okay. Like we all have different, like we want to feel capable and we want to be seen and things. Like there's just normal, natural, basic needs that we all have. And so some of your reasoning might be some of those basic needs being met. But if your 7's fear is being trapped in pain or deprived or bored and their desires to be satisfied and content,
Yes.
maybe that's why there might still be some of that underlying on why you step into that leadership role.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I have a question though. So if your dominant number is a 7,
Mm-hmm.
can life experience, like a little PTSD, be the reason that you're not acting like a 7 and you're more like a 3? Can it like life experience have effect on that?
I think definitely there's a part of the Enneagram, there's levels of health, and it's the psychology part of the Enneagram. And we can be, a lot of us sit in the average psychological health, and then we could be healthy or unhealthy. And so we can have a range. I think it's actually 6 different levels within that, if I'm recalling properly, that we could be in a range of where we're showing different things. Like if we're like when you were saying potentially feeling trapped in some of the marriage stuff, like there might have been, it might have been a little bit lower in the health, psychological health part of that. So different, you would have different things coming up and different symptoms. And symptoms isn't the word. My words aren't coming to me, but traits showing up, right?
Sure.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas as you have been growing, you've told me in the last couple of years, you're looking more internally, you're learning more about yourself, you're probably moving higher up on that healthy 7, and you're going to have different pieces coming into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like how you put that.
Yeah, and that's kind of where you act a certain way when you're on the unhealthy part of your number, and you act a certain way when you're healthy in that
Yes.
number.
Yes, that's
Like,
correct.
if I understand right, like an 8, I can lead people, I can inspire people, like all this stuff, but I can also mow people over in my unhealthy space.
Yeah, if you're not feeling
Like that.
secure, if you're not, if you're kind of afraid of being betrayed, like you can definitely mull people over, and be aware of it. Because sometimes 8s come across in a tone that's a little bit strong, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, what you're
Yeah.
condescending, or why are you
Yeah.
sounding
Have
like
you
that?"
ever
I'm like,
gotten
what are
that
you
feedback
talking
before,
about?
Natalie?
Never.
You've never gotten that feedback?
Never.
No.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
common
for
feedback
sure.
for an 8. But
And I don't know
okay.
if it's a betrayal or it's a fear of, for me, sometimes I feel like it's like, oh my God, this is out of control. Like, and I need to kind of march and put my armor on and get things back in line type
Yeah.
of thing. But
that's another thing I want you to observe, because it's so interesting as I talk with you. Like, you don't relate to the word vulnerable. Like, you're not afraid of that, but it's one of the core fears. I did
Yeah.
not either. I did not relate to the word betrayal. Like, I'm like, I'm fine. I'm not worried about people betraying me.
Yeah.
And that is like the core longing of an 8, is to know that they won't be betrayed. And as I started learning more and looking at this more, I start to see like what that means. I am like, oh, yeah, like somebody not long ago, like I thought was a great friend, totally blindsided me by some things, and it freaking wrecked me because they betrayed me. They didn't stand up for me in a
yeah,
scenario that I thought they should, right? Like, I'm like, you're my
Yeah.
friend. And
yeah.
but I
Yeah.
would never set out to say that I fear being betrayed. It
Right.
doesn't-
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting because I have had people recently and in my past do things like that. And the ones in my past like wrecked me. Like I'd think about it every day for a year. And luckily I got on one of them, I got some resolution where they came around and said, which is great if you get that. Most of the time you're not going to get that.
Yeah.
I've had some recent things like that. And it
affects you deeply.
I don't know
Not in a
about,
bad way.
I don't
Not in a
know
bad
deeply,
way.
but I'm like, I see it, I feel it. And
But
right
you
now
want to hash
I
it out
move
as to
on.
like all the whys.
Yeah.
Like, why did that happen? What did I say? Was my tone that direct? How could they have been offended by
Yeah.
that? Why were they offended? Like,
Yeah.
you have that desire to really understand why that person felt the way they did.
I'm a verbal processor.
And that totally makes
100%.
sense.
And you
But-
also use the word armor. Like, that's that protective layer. Like, you're going to put the armor on just to protect you so that your heart isn't hurt.
Yeah, I feel like the armor comes on when when it feels like it's all on my shoulders. Like
Okay,
I
why?
was.
So what? I want to unpack that. Tell me more, because
Let's get a little vulnerable.
We are getting low on time.
Okay,
I have
okay,
to be the bearer of bad news, but let's dig in just for a minute or two and see
Okay.
what this.
Just real
Well-
quick, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a great example was my husband in my marriage. Wonderful man, very unhealthy, codependent dance that we had. I was ready to take charge, and I literally in my mind thought the day I met him, he's such a wonderful person, and his soul just needs to be unleashed. I could like see it in a cage. Like that was in my mind, right? So I kind of took that on as like, let's unleash you. You're amazing. And he is amazing. And on his end of it, he was ready to have someone take him, under their arm because he didn't have a lot of that. And so we had this perfect unhealthy dance. Well, he got MS 2 years after we got married, and it slowly, changed and changed and changed, pivot, pivot, pivot. And there'd be some times, I mean, talk about PTSD, where I'm like, we're going to be under a freaking bridge. Like, what are we going to do? Like, I got to figure this out. Like, it's on me to figure out.
Yeah.
Because was it really on me? No. But was he one to make decisions? And, sometimes yes, sometimes no. But that's what I took on as the perception. Like, I gotta, let's hunker down.
Which
This
what
is
you
going to
did with
be
your family growing
yeah.
up, which is
This is going to be hard, but it's on me to make this right, to make this happen.
Yep.
So was that what felt like the armor? Like you're armoring up to be able to just make it all happen so that.
That's a big part of it. But I do think that there is an emotional part of that too.
Okay.
It's like, don't fuck with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the first time I've said that word
on our podcast.
On the
Yeah,
podcast. There is emotional stuff where there was armor of like, don't mess with me.
Yeah.
And I maybe don't mess with me because I'm protecting all these people in the back.
Yep.
Ding, ding,
Yep.
ding, ding, ding.
That's
Right
it.
there.
You just did it.
That's it. I mean,
So I love that we ended there, because this is what people get out of talking with you as a coach who uses Enneagram as one of your tools
yeah.
to uncover this muddled mess that we have in all of our lives.
Yes.
And so, aside from what we talked about today, what would a coaching session or sessions look like with you?
When I really focus on the Enneagram, we look at identifying that dominant type, and then we go into the different parts of it, understanding. We didn't get to talk about it today, but the arrows or the pathways where you go and tap into different numbers in stress and growth. We talk about your wings. We talk about childhood messages. We talk about those levels of health and the psychological aspect. And there's so many other parts of it. I coach people for 6 months going through those different details so they can understand the different aspects of the Enneagram to get deeper in self-awareness. And sometimes when people hear that, they're like, I don't want to go deep.
Well, that's hard, right?
It is
comfortable.
hard.
Well, what number doesn't want to go deep?
All of them. No, people don't want to go deep.
No, it's
Going
very
deep is
uncomfortable.
hard.
Well, yeah, but we've done work too.
Am I a unicorn?
No, I mean,
And a lot of people like that self-awareness, but there is a part of us that it's hard to have things highlighted, right? The parts of us that aren't so great. So that's hard to have it highlighted. But
and here it is highlighted on the podcast for the world to hear that I can mow people over.
Amen.
Yeah.
But you don't do it in a vengeful way. Like it's truly that. And that's what I want, I guess, in the coaching for people to discover really who they are, how they've been protecting themselves, let go of the parts that they don't need to hold on to anymore.
Yeah.
Be you and let go of some of those pieces that feel scary and just live life really in a lot more freedom than a lot of us do. It's going to help us in our communication, our leadership, our all of our relationships. Like it's just going to help us in so many different ways to have that awareness. So that I just think it's key to how we live is to have that self-awareness.
Well, and as I become more self-aware of different things, I'm like, oh, there that is.
Yep.
And it helps me and it gives me grace.
Yep.
And then I can speak it out loud to maybe my, very small circle and be like, hey, just so you know.
Yep.
And that happened with me earlier this week. I felt extremely overwhelmed. When I get overwhelmed and I feel like this is broken and this is never going to get fixed and I'm scarcity mode and, Savannah Guthrie's mom's still missing and all of that, it's not laughable, but all of that,
can't control that, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
I know that I'm off my rocker a little bit. And I was like, okay, Nat, you know where you're at. It's time to wipe some things off your schedule. It's time to get in the bath. It's time to read. it's time to
Self-awareness.
slow
Self-awareness is
down.
everything, right?
Yeah.
It
So,
And
what
and
you're
that's what you'll
saying.
get from Tammy.
Yeah.
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 So where do people find you?
On my
if they
website,
wanna-
yeah, holladaycoaching.com.
So let's spell it.
So it's HOLLADAY, like y'all said in the beginning, like
Holla.
holladaycoaching.com. And you can take a free Enneagram quiz I have on there of what's my Enneagram type. We can talk further about if you want to go deep in understanding how the Enneagram can bring that self-awareness and improve how you're leading, improve your communication and relationships, then we can kind of connect on there. You can also follow me on Instagram at Holiday Coaching too.
And she has a great newsletter. It's called The
yeah.
Nudge. What a great, just a little nudge. And I
Love
saw
it.
your newsletter today or yesterday about, okay, the timing is mid-February. Like, where are you on the, your thoughts for the new year? And it's just a little nudge. It's
Yeah, I
like
love
you're
that.
a midweek nudge. So it's always on
midnight nudge.
Wednesdays because
Yeah.
I want us to kind of always be thinking, and then I try to put a little encouragement in there and something to think on. So yeah.
I love that. It's
And
really cute.
she does not just coach during the holidays. She coaches all year round.
In fact, she doesn't coach on the holiday.
That's right. Holiday takes a break during the holidays.
And if you need like a little song for your website, holiday,
Okay,
I
but
could do
that's
that for
actually
you.
spelled the wrong way.
Yeah, but we could, it doesn't matter. We can change
We can
that.
change it.
We have to change it or we're going to get dinged. for-
HOLLADAY.
We'll have to like change it up so it's holiday or something.
Yeah,
else.
That's right. We'll do it.
Holiday.
We'll do
There you
it.
go.
You did it.
Perfect. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Tammy. So appreciate it. Really fun conversation. And yeah, I feel like we got a little therapy session.
We really did. And that's what other
Yeah.
people can get too.
Yeah.
Have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Thank
it
you
makes
so much for
much
having me.
sense.
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
fun. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
All right.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.